Hey, so today we're going to take a look at process model and how to work with this software, right? So you have to have this software installed in your machine. If you have a Mac, in order to have a problem, you have to do, the VirtualBox or the boot camp, whatever it is, okay? So if you have problems, you have help desk to email with your questions. You have the videos online to, help you install and make sure it is working fine. So let's go into how to work with process model. First, you have to run the software. So I have it here in my desktop. And when you open it for the first time, it will usually open this kind of just an example of a process. So this is a customer service process that we can see, just an example. They have hundreds of different examples. And you need to be, familiar with how the information is going to be presented, okay? So you can see here, we have different tabs here, different information, and this will help you build the model. This right part is the one that's a little bit different. This shows all the images that we can use, right? So you can see here in this example, we have this call that are being received and you have process being done to that call, right? So there's some things that we need to understand what is the definition. So the product here that's being processed is actually a call, and that's called an entity, okay? So an entity could be a call, a product, a customer, whatever it is. And then you receive that entity, and then you have the process steps that you're doing, right? And here on top, there's resources. So who is performing that task? And we're going to go over all of that. So just click new file here. It will open the model like this. And then we can create our own model. If you take a look at your class notes, you have like a slide by slide of what we're going to do in this video. So you can have that to help you out, right? So in this example, we have a box. Maybe here we have, we're going to use an email, right? But here you can go up and down. There's a bunch of different things that you can use, a cell phone or a card or a person. And if you click here, it will open a bunch of different things. So you can do process map of, very different processes, construction, army, aircraft, whatever it is, right? If we're in class, I would say, oh, let's choose one, right? And we can use aircrafts, for example, right? We can use whatever we want, right? So, yeah, we can use, well, we have car parts here, or even cars, right? Or emergency room, whatever icons you want, right? That's a cool one. Is that an entity? So whenever you wait there, it tells you if it's an entity or not on the right? So this is an entity. So it means that we can use to start the process. And here I'm saying, oh, the X-ray is going to start, right? I only choose this one because it's Homer Simpson's head, right? So that'll be a fun one. But I could use, this one is also an entity. It's an ambulance or a helicopter or, a drug or whatever it is, right? I can use, different things as entities. But now I don't want these things. So I'm going to click an arrow. I'm going to select them and click delete. Yes, I want to delete that. Okay. So after you put an entity there, we want to put a process. And that's, we have here some icons on the left to help you out. This is a process. So you can click here and drag it. I'm pressing the button and hopefully it will create another process step. Oh, it took a while, but it did create it. So it creates and already links to the entity that we're having here, right? So we're saying that X-ray is being received. Instead of doing that, I can just delete it. Now I can just put the process step, and then I need to drag it with this line, okay? So now I have a process. Oh, then I click escape so now I have an entity that's getting here. Could be a product, again, a customer, whatever it is. And you have a process, right? Like exactly how you have in your notes. Then what we want to do is click here. So it will give information about, in this case, the arrival rate. Okay, so here it's telling you that it's going to be a type periodic arrival rate. Repeat every 15 minutes. So here we have the units, and you can choose units, seconds, hours, whatever it is. The quantity of arrival is going to be 1. So every 15 minutes is going to arrive 1 at a time. And it's a start as soon as our process starts, as soon as our simulation starts. So what we want here is not to have repeat every 15 minutes, but exponential. So you go there and you click E and then 15, see? So you're saying that's going to repeat, it's going to variate over time, right? So that's what I told you guys in the other video. That's the big advantage of a process model. It can use simulation, so it have a variation that is going to impact in each step. So now we're using exponential arrival of 15 minutes, okay? As the example is asking, exponential 15 for the arrival, exponential 12 minutes for the process time. So we can close it, and then we're gonna open the process. So double click on the process. Are the some basic information about the process. You can name the process. You can say X-ray receipt, process 1, or you can say receipt document, whatever it is, right? The step that you want. Here we have the capacity. So it's going to take 1 at a time. We need the stats on, so we need the stats for that one. And the time is going to be 1, so it's taking 1 minute to go over the process. In our example, it's going to take exponential 12. So let's put E12, and we're going to learn about all these different codes, okay? We can learn normal distribution, triangular, uniform. There's a bunch of different distributions. It's also telling you that this is an activity. So here is saying object type activity, right? You can use different image to be different stuff. I'm not going to mess with that. It's an activity, it's a box. And you have 2 queues that is shown here, okay? Showing input queue and output queue. So remember that every time that you have a box, it's not only a process step. It is an inventory. It could be an inventory, process step, and inventory. Okay, and then the lines are transportation from one process to the other. Okay, so here is saying that there's a queue that can have up to 999. The standard way that process model works is it creates a queue before the process step. So let's say that here there is a queue and a process, and after that let's say the default is having 0. So it's going to say that we don't have any inventory after that. And you can tweak and change whatever you want. That here is saying that the capacity of that queue is 999. So even if you receive more and more and more and more, it is going to grow up until 999, and then it's going to fill and start filling up all the waiting lines before that. Okay. So now we have our parameters, kind of pretty basic simulation. It's arriving something and something being processed 1 step, right? And you know that this arrow is the arrival rate, this arrow is the process. Now we need to click here on the simulation, and we're gonna select options, okay? So these options are important. There's some things that we're gonna tweak here. And one thing is change the run rate, the run length from 440 to 4,000. That's what it's in your notes, okay? And we're gonna run it, so it's gonna run the process, it's gonna run the parameters for 4,000 hours, and then we're gonna give the answer to us, right? And then the rest we're gonna not touch much. Here's some stuff that you're gonna take a look later on. So, okay, and then we can click simulate. And when you click simulate, you want to save this somewhere. So you can save whatever you want. Yeah, I can put in desktop just so we have it. So you'll create a file for that. And then you start the simulation process.